Good morning, students. So today we will be discussing this topic, radius of gyration, and this topic is from chapter number 8, which is gravitation. So first let us see what is radius of gyration. See, radius of gyration about any given axis, it is the perpendicular distance of the particle where the whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated. See, if we assume this as system of particles, okay, here this is the first particle and the distance of this particle from the axis is r1, and see, we can have number of particles like this. Let us consider this is the second particle and the distance of this particle from the axis is r2. Same way, this is the third particle and distance of this particle from the axis is r3. Okay, same way, if we consider the center of mass of the body at point M, okay, if this is considered as center of mass of the system, so the distance of center of mass of the system from the axis, okay, from this perpendicular axis is considered as the radius of gyration. So now and it is that distance at which the whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated. Now let us consider that m1, m2 and m3, all these particles, there are n particles in the system, okay, and mass of each particle is m. Okay, mass of each particle is supposed to be m. Now let us suppose that r1, r2 and r3 up to rn, they are the, you can say, the perpendicular distances, or you can say the position vectors of r1, r2 and up to rn respectively. Now if you want to find out the moment of inertia of this whole system, so how we can find? It will be the moment of inertia due to each individual particle, and we will do the summation. We will add all the means moment of inertia due to each particle. So as you can see, here is m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square. This is due to first particle, this is second particle, this is moment of inertia due to third particle, and up to mn, this is moment of inertia due to nth particle. Okay, now we have added all of them, so m we can take outside. Why? Because m1 is equals to, we have considered all the masses of same, all the particles of same masses, so we have considered m outside. So inside we are having r1 square plus r2 square plus r3 square up to rn square. Now if we multiply and divide the equation by n, okay, so what do we get? M into n. M into n is c. N is number of particles in the system, m is mass of each particle. So what is this? This is total mass of the system. We can consider that as m. Now now you see what we have considered, this is see, r1 square. Now this equation becomes here m into r1 square plus r2 square up to rn square divided by n. See, now this is, what is this? Let us consider this as k. And what is k? K is we can say k is radius of gyration. Okay, now if we take this equation, as we already know, I is equals to m into, you can say, m into r square. Okay, so this was I, and now we have considered it as m. This is r square, so in place of r we are considering it as k, because r we already denote position vector of the particles, na? So that is why we are denoting it here by k. So it becomes k is radius of gyration. Now if we see, if we compare these two equations, so I dash become equals to I, and mk square becomes equals to this, so k becomes equals to this, or we can directly say that this is k. This is k of the system, that is radius of gyration. Now if we want to know what is k, so let us see, now k becomes equals to under root, see, now k becomes equals to under root r1 square plus r2 square up to rn square divided by n. N is the number of masses present in the system. Okay, now how do we define radius of gyration? It is defined, radius of gyration of a body about any given axis, it is defined as equals to, as you can see, it is root under root mean, see, mean, first of all mean se pehle let us see square of all the distances and its mean divided by the number of particles. So it is square root, that means square for all the distances are squared, square root and its mean. Okay, so you can see it is root mean squared distance of the particles that constitute the whole system of the body. And as you can see, on what factors this radius of gyration depends? It depends upon shape and size of the body, and its the configuration of the body, and its distribution of masses. Okay, distribution of masses, distances r1, r2 and r3. Okay, so that's all for today. Other part we will be discussing in the next class. Thank you.